Hi guys, I'm Adi from Israel, from the Shnat Netzer staff, and I've been asked by Charlie to describe what I think Reform Zionism is for me, or in general, what is it. So I think first we should start with Zionism as such. The basic thing in Zionism is the understanding that the Jewish people are actually a people and not just a religion. And the fact that they are a people means that we need to take care of their existence and their well-being and prosperity. So from this understanding came up two streams or maybe levels of Zionism. The first one is the political Zionism, which actually thinks of the very existence of the Jews and that wants to protect them and to secure their life. And somewhere in the 19th, 20th century, they realized that the only way to actually secure as much as possible the existence of the Jews is to have them their own autonomous and sovereign state. Or just like sovereign society. State is like another idea they developed later. So Jews need to live together, rule themselves by themselves, in their own place together. But this is like the very materialistic level, okay? Just to make sure that they are all right, not under threat, and live and prosper. But there's another level, which is like kind of the cultural Zionism, which Reform Zionism derives from. And the cultural Zionism says that there's actually something meaningful, important in the Jewish culture, in the Jewish internal kind of rhythm. So we think that the Jewish culture has many assets to contribute to the world in general. Lots of ethical and moral ideas, and other ways of living, which is not the mainstream way of life, that can actually contribute and enrich human experience all over the world, basically. So cultural Zionism says it's not just the existence of the Jewish people that we need to make sure, but we also need to make sure for their cultural revival and prosperity, because there is something unique in this culture, which we think can actually contribute and develop ourselves as human beings, but also the world in general. Think of the concept of Tikkun Olam. That's a very Jewish concept. But that's only one part. So within cultural Zionism, there are different streams that think of what's the best cultural way for Judaism to develop and prosper. Some are like the religious Zionist, the traditional one. There's the label Zionism, talks about kibbutzim and stuff like that. And Reform Zionism is kind of in between, takes the good from both, which actually says, because we think of Judaism from a progressive approach and not from the Orthodox approach, and we think that the progressive way actually takes the best out of it and develop Judaism in a constructive and more just way. So we also see the Jewish society, state, community. We wanted it to run according to the guidelines of the progressive Judaism and its values. And therefore, we reform Judaism, reformed in the past and always reform Judaism, and we want our Jewish society to go along the lines of the reform movement. So basically, that's it. We want to take this culture to develop from within a sovereign and autonomous Jewish society that is run by its own concepts and understanding and people and stuff like that. And we think it will contribute to ourselves, and it will contribute to the Jewish people and the rest of the world. The point is that we really think Judaism has assets to contribute to the world, but I'm not so sure how much we are familiar with them. So I would say that as a Reform Zionist, my first goal is actually to discover and explore Judaism and see what is there that can help my life, help enrich my life, and help perhaps develop the morals in the world and the ethical thinking. So yeah, that's it basically. And if you want to know more, you should come on Shnat. Bye.